Israel is set to begin negotiations on the second phase of the Gaza ceasefire deal this week. This even as it demands a complete demilitarization of the Palestinian enclave. In the latest development, fresh announcements have been made by Hamas and confirmed by Israel on the hostage prisoner exchange. Israel has said that it expects to receive the bodies of 4 hostages held in Gaza on Thursday, ahead of the release of 6 living captives on Saturday. The statement came shortly after Hamas's announcement.
The movement and the resistance decided to hand over 4 bodies of the occupation prisoners on Thursday, February 20th. Secondly, we will release on Saturday, February 22nd, the remaining living prisoners whose release was agreed in the first phase, numbering 6.
The development comes in the backdrop of protests in Israel, with families of hostages and thousands of citizens protesting against the government and demanding the release of 73 hostages still held in Gaza, 500 days after they were kidnapped in Hamas's October 7th attack, 2023. Amid mounting pressure, the Israeli government says it will not accept the continued presence of Hamas or any other group in Gaza.
We are completing the withdrawal despite the violations of the agreement. The most basic violation is the presence of Hezbollah activists south of the Litani River. Unfortunately, it continued to be the reality. Once Lebanon fully implements its side of the deal, there will be no need to hold these points.
The Arab League meeting on Gaza, initially set for next week, has been postponed to March 4th. The host, Egypt, says the new date has been agreed with Arab League members as part of preparations for the summit. The meeting has been called in response to US President Donald Trump's proposal to take over the war-battered Gaza Strip and move its Palestinian inhabitants elsewhere, including to Egypt and Jordan. Lebanon, on the other hand, says it will consider any remaining Israeli presence on its land an occupation, and that it has the right to use any means to ensure an Israeli withdrawal. The statement comes as the latest deadline for a withdrawal of Israeli troops from Lebanon ends today.
Firstly, to turn to the UN Security Council, which approved Resolution 1701, to demand that it takes the necessary measures to address Israeli violations and oblige Israel to immediately withdraw to the international borders in accordance with what is required by the UN resolution and the relevant declaration. Secondly, to consider the continued Israeli presence in any inch of Lebanese territory as an occupation with all the legal consequences that result from that in accordance with international legitimacy.
Under the November truce, Israeli troops were granted 60 days to withdraw from the southern Lebanon, where they had waged a ground offensive against fighters from Lebanese armed group Hezbollah since early October. That deadline was extended to February 18th, but Israeli and Lebanese officials, as well as foreign diplomats, had anticipated that Israel would retain some troops on parts of the Lebanese side of the border. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.